Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I want to talk about best cards to buy after the market crash here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM. I am surprised by how much the market seems to actually be affected for Galaxy Opal and below cards by these flash super packs. At this point, I honestly made my super pack of market crash video earlier, kind of just thinking that I was going to basically be like, yeah, the market's not crashing that much at this point. But on some of these lower tier cards, it really still seems to be. It's impressive how cheap these cards are getting, and they just continue to get cheaper on a weekly basis, which is kind of cool. But I want to talk about the cards that I think are the most affected by that, and the ones that are the most, I guess, the most good cards that are affected by that here in today's video. So before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, we will start with the point guard position. And I think the two PGs that are the most affected by this market crash are number one, Galaxy Opal Alex Caruso. As y'all can see, all the way down from a 90,000 MT earlier today in the last hour. I'm recording this video at 11:15, so super packs have only been out for about an hour and 15 minutes, and you see Alex Caruso already below 50,000, or sorry, below 60,000 MT in that 55K MT mark. This one's even got 5 extra Hall of Fame badges on him as well. Caruso has clearly dropped in price a noticeable amount this morning from these super packs, and I think this card is awesome. He's an extremely good slasher. He's got a very nice release. Very, very good defender as well. Super underrated, underappreciated card. These are the best, like, this is one of the best budget cards in the game, in all honesty. He's a really, really nice option. Gives you a lot of value at his position, and I think he's a very, very good card to target at that point guard spot for sure, especially when he is now getting to that point where he is really this cheap. Also, I do believe another really good point guard option is Dyson Daniels, of course, who was going for like almost 50K MT last week, is now below 25, which I think is another really, really nice price point for a very, very good card in Dyson Daniels. Hold on, I'm gonna snipe this one. I'm sorry, I have to. I know that might seem like a little bit of an overpay. 37 hops and a legend badge, 65K. Did I overpay slightly? It's possible. Maybe not. I don't know. I just instinctively felt like I had to buy that card. That's the type of card that I feel like just getting by. I feel like I have to buy that card, to be totally honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, but I feel like I could resell that card for 100K. Or close to it with every Hoff badge, basically. What Hoffs does he not have? If he doesn't have 2 Hoffs that I have, I might just add him on him and throw him up there. See if I can get 30K profit or something off of that card. That's a nice little snipe though, or maybe I'll even use him for salary cap at some point. I don't know. Either way, I do think Dyson Daniels going for 25K MT is an absolute steal. I think he's a really, really good card to be targeting as well. And other point guards that are Opal point guards and stuff are guys that I would also be targeting realistically. There just aren't any like that jump off the page of me as like absolute must-haves or anything like that right now. At the shooting guard position, the answer is still the same, and it's a guy who's been dropping relatively consistently since last season super pack started, but it is this Dr. J card who is now sub 50,000 MT. He's actually sub 40,000 MT now for a base Dr. J. You can get a souped Dr. J for a very, very affordable price tag at this point. He is just such a cheap, affordable card. Still such a super duper solid good card as well, and especially if you can find him with just a few extra good Hall of Fame badges, maybe a couple of legend badges mixed in here and there. You can get this card so affordably and so good. Him going for less than 40K MT at this point is just an absolute steal. He's got such high level movement, great fade, great jump shot, great slashing, great defense. To this day, still my backup shooting guard is Pink Diamond Dr. J. He's an awesome card, and I just don't know how he's not the guy that I'd recommend to everybody at the shooting guard position if you're looking to buy somebody. Another card who's not really that affected by a market crash because he's already pretty cheap is this Robert Covington, but I do think he has probably gone down in price even a little bit more today as well. But not a bad card at all already. I mean, in terms of price tag, his price doesn't actually look to have changed very much, so maybe he's not one that matters, but although he's like 7K, so like there isn't a big amount for him to crash in terms of a price tag anyway. In all honesty, I would say I think he's a very, very solid card though, and I think definitely a guy to look into potentially targeting as well at that shooting guard position. But obviously Dr. J is still the number one option at shooting guard in terms of guys that I'd recommend buying for their prices having dropped and things of that nature. Now moving on to the small forward position, we have a few good small forwards that I would recommend potentially targeting, and I'm not going in order here, but I'll start with this Galaxy Opal Jonathan Isaac, who y'all can see was 80,000+ MT, has dropped all the way down into the 60s now, and likely will be cheaper than that as well. Another thing to consider is I'm recording this video again like an hour and 20 minutes after super packs have dropped. In 8 hours, when people get home from work, and that's where a lot of the big spenders are, they're working during the day, and then they're coming home, they're playing my team to Unnight at night, they'll open some packs. There's a good chance that the supply on cards will go up a significantly larger amount than when I'm recording this video right now. So I think that's also absolutely worth keeping in mind. But a guy like Jonathan Isaac is a card who's definitely going to be affected by something like this, as a Galaxy Opal small forward who's relatively recent, going to be seen in a lot of cards, in a lot of these packs. Anton Jameson is very, very, very affordable. A card you can get for sub 30,000 MT now is just insane for how good he is. I think this card for this price tag is insanely good value. He is truly awesome. Definitely another great card in my team. And then another really, really great card at the small forward position, of course, is Pink Diamond Michael Beasley, who I mentioned this in my market crash video earlier. He was like 100,000 MT, like a borderline buyout, but also not quite a buyout last week. Now, 2 legend badges, 16 hops. He's got legend handles, phase awful pass, going for 91k. As a base card, going for 60,000 MT, actually slightly less than that now. Just an absolute steal. I saw one earlier, there was 100,000 MT with 20 Hoff badges and then legend on ball menace and another legend badge as well. I forget what the other legend badge was, but I mentioned that in my market crash video. It's also very possible to find these types of cards with extra badges and extra things added and extra deals and stuff. So keep that in mind as well. Definitely a lot of big opportunities to make a lot of MT, potentially if you can find really good steals and really good snipes and stuff for cards, but also opportunities to get super souped versions of these cards for more affordable prices, because people will post their souped versions of these cards for more affordable prices as well sometimes, because they see the card prices dropping as a whole. So be on the lookout for those types of buys and those types of offers, and I think Michael Beasley is a great target for that at the small forward position. Power forward position, I feel like the number one guy to be targeting, and I'm surprised he's dropped this much in price, but it's Dino Raja. Dino Raja has now gone to below 50,000 MT in price as well, and I think he is likely to potentially continue dropping a bit as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he's 40k towards the end of today. Really great option as a small forward, or sorry, a power forward or a center at 6'11", 99 offense, 97 defense. Just again, absolutely elite level all around card. Really nice jump shot, like very good jump shot. He's a great athlete. He's a versatile defender. He's got 92 speed. For a Galaxy Opal, I think he is an absolute stud. So definitely would recommend him. I don't know if Jaren Jackson Jr. is getting pulled very much, but in Opal, Jaren would be another good guy to target. He's actually also a buyout now as well, and he's actually, wow, 85k. There you go. He has dropped a good chunk in price today as well. So if you're looking for a Jaren, he is cheaper now than he has been. So he's another option you could definitely consider at the power forward position. Obviously, guys like Eddie Curry, who's also very cheap, and then I would assume like Kalel Ware probably has dropped in price a good bit today. What drop was Kalel Ware? And he was Apex. Okay, so like I would assume Kalel Ware has probably dropped in price a pretty decent chunk today as well. He was going for about 26k, 24k earlier this week. Looks like he is now sub 20k. Actually, looks like he's about 15k right now as well. This is another opportunity to potentially make some OT if you're looking to invest in a card. With Kalel towards the end of this week, if you buy a couple of them, you could probably resell them for some profit, like Sunday or Monday of next week or so. I think would potentially be an option, but he's another card to potentially look into buying because I think he is also very affordable as of right now as a Pink Diamond big man. And then obviously at the center position, I mean, I'm going to mention him twice, but Pink Diamond Wemby's a no-brainer just because he's still so affordable compared to how good he is, can compete at the very highest level at the center position. His jumper being uncontestable, all that type of stuff is really nice. And again, you're going to see a lot of them like this one with 14 legend badges going for in the 200,000 MT range now. Just absolute steals. There's so many good Wimbys on the auction house. I would recommend, if you're going to buy a Pink Diamond Wemby, try to get one with a bunch of extra Hoff badges and some legend badges and stuff like that. But he is also so affordable now. I don't think we're like that far away from seeing base Wimbys being buyouts. I don't think it's like that far in the future. It's not going to be this week. It won't probably be next week, but in a month or so, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see that be the case. Obviously at the center position, Wemby is always an amazing option. Another good center who I think gets a little bit overlooked, but if you find a really badged version of him, can be a good buy, is a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, for example. There was one right there with 23 Hoffs for 68k. If you can find him with 20 something Hoffs, maybe some extra legend badges, things like that, going for a buyout, I think he can be a really nice option. So that's another card that I would consider if you're looking for some size. You don't want to pay for Wemby. Like this one right here, 63k. He's got legend pogo stick and a bunch of good Hall of Fame badges. That's an interesting card. That's a pretty darn interesting card. And like that's the type of card that you could pick up for a very affordable price. And then I will also go ahead and mention, just because why not, Galaxy Opal Victor Wembanyama. Not a card who's going to drop a ton in terms of commonness in these super packs, but he also might drop in price a bit because of these super packs today, especially as the day progresses. So keep a tab on his price if you're looking to add the best center arguably in the game besides Yao Ming, obviously. Wemby can be an amazing card to add, and his price might even be a little bit cheaper today as well. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on, if nothing else. But with that being said, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.